peace on Israel time.
Thank you, Rabbi Blumoff, for those really important and meaningful words and heartfelt words on this really challenging time. And I really want to thank you and Rabbi Swedrow and the Agudas Achim leadership and community for hosting this really important gathering tonight in this really beautiful sanctuary space. My heart is in the east, but I am on the edge of the west. These are the famous words written by Judah Halevi, a renowned rabbi, poet, and philosopher who expressed the ageless longing of the Jewish people for the land of Israel. As I woke up on Saturday morning and heard the horrific news, I immediately recalled these words as I was reminded how precious the modern miracle of Israel is, and my heart was with the people of Israel. As you can see this evening, the response of the greater Austin Jewish community and greater community in this room is strong. We gather here today as one greater Austin Jewish community, 28 Jewish community institutions strong, with over 2,000 people in person between this room and the other overflow rooms, and close to 1,000 people who are joining us online from Austin and beyond. We will not lose focus on supporting Israel and what she needs in these coming days, these weeks and months. Our hearts will indeed be in the east, fully connected to our brothers and sisters in Israel and supportive of our Israeli community here in Greater Austin. And we will remain steadfast in our support of Israel, speaking loudly that Israel has the right to defend itself and do not provoke this war, despite the narrative that we know is coming once Israel begins its full response. As Rabbi Blumoff mentioned, we are joined here today and honored to be joined by local, state, and federal elected officials and members of our interfaith community. And we thank you for your unequivocal support of Israel and our Jewish community during this very vulnerable time. This evening, we will hear from Governor Greg Abbott, Congressman Doggett, Councilmember Allison Alter, and Mayor Kirk Watson. We will then hear a statement of support from our interfaith community. We will join in song together, hear words from Consul General of Israel to the Southwest, Livia Link Raviv, followed by a very heartfelt testimony from this horrendous attack. We will join together in blessings for the IDF, Israel, and take a moment to mourn and say Kaddish, closing with a call to action and Hatikvah. Before I introduce Governor Abbott, I want to share an important resource that our governor's office has provided to the Texas Jewish community and beyond. The governor's office has charged the Texas Holocaust, Genocide, and Anti-Semitism Advisory Commission with monitoring and educating about anti-Semitism across the state of Texas. Commissioner Lucy Katz, Executive Director Joy Nathan, and State Coordinator of Education Dr. Jake Wolfson are in attendance at this evening's event. As we all know, anti-Semitic sentiments and crimes spike around the globe, and Israel is at war. And the Commission promises to lead the fight against anti-Semitism in our state. It is now my privilege to welcome Governor Greg Abbott. Governor Abbott, we cannot thank you enough for your steadfast support of Israel and the Jewish people, and for being here tonight to show support and solidarity with Israel and our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'm sure everybody here knows. Texas joins the world in grieving for Israel. Hearts are weeping. They're weeping throughout Israel but also all across Texas because of the horrific attack on Israel, which must be called what it is. It is an act of war to which Israel has the right of self-defense, for which there is no expiration date on what Israel must do. Innocent children at a music festival were gunned down. Seniors were slaughtered and kidnapped. Americans are among the lives lost in the deadly attack that has killed more Jews than any act since the Holocaust. Let me be clear. Texas stands with Israel in its right to defend itself against the war criminals who unleashed this mayhem. Texas wants to make sure that the Jewish community and the Israeli community in Texas knows what the state of Texas is doing. Texas took action today to support the Israeli and the Jewish communities, to combat anti-Semitism and potential threats. We are right now increasing security at Jewish and Israel-related locations, such as synagogues and schools. I also directed the Texas Department of Public Safety to work with local and federal intelligence agencies at the Joint Terrorism Task Force to evaluate potential threats by Hamas or Hezbollah. I already today expedited over $4 million in grant funding to 31 Jewish organizations to support safety enhancements. Today I issued an executive order prohibiting any state agency in Texas from purchasing anything produced in or exported from the Gaza Strip. Or from purchasing anything produced in or exported from any organization or state actor with ties to Hamas. To honor all in Israel who have lost their lives during this heinous act of war, including Americans killed in Israel, I ordered that flags are to be lowered to half staff beginning at sunrise tomorrow. Texas will always stand with the people of Israel, as well as our Jewish neighbors right here in Texas. May God bless you all in this time of need. And may God continue to bless Israel during these challenging times.
Thank you, Governor Abbott, for your very, very heartfelt and moving words that you shared with us. And we continue to look forward to work with you as Texas responds to this horrific situation. We know that the state of Texas has the back of the Israeli people and our Jewish community here in Texas. So thank you again. I now introduce someone who's well known to our community, Council Member Allison Alter, a longtime proud member of our Jewish community who has been a steadfast supporter of our community in many ways, beginning her tenure on the council, and has been a leader leading several initiatives to combat anti-Semitism and hate in our city. With much gratitude for everything you do to support our community, Councilmember Alter, please join us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Allison Alter. First of all, as a Jew, I grieve with all of you and our brothers and sisters in Israel and around the world. I share your feelings of vulnerability. It is my honor to represent this campus and Northwest Austin on the Austin City Council. I am joined here tonight with my colleagues, Councilmember Ryan Alter and Mayor Watson, who are in the room here, and others who are no doubt in the overflow and online. My family and I are members of Congregation Beth Israel, and my children are active in their college Hillels. What happened in Israel is horrible and part of a frightening and growing trend of anti-Semitism around the world. A trend we have experienced in very real ways in our own community, with swastikas at Anderson High School, hateful stickers in our parks, anti-Semitic, anti-Israeli flyers on driveways and banners on overpasses. 2 years ago, an 18-year-old Texan set fire to our beloved synagogue Congregation Beth Israel. Tonight, even as we stand in support of the Israeli people, our Israeli neighbors, and family and friends impacted by recent events, we need to name the problem and educate people. Hate and anti-Semitism, the commission of violence against Jews, is one of the major challenges that we face at our time. We all need to do something about it. Some will fight for Israel. Some will donate to support the victims. Tonight, I want to invite you to also act locally. We need people working against hate and anti-Semitism right here at home in Austin. Here in Austin, we have an opportunity and a need to be leaders on this front. Not just for the Jewish community, but for Austin as a whole. We can each help repair the world. This is not the time for me to share specific actions undertaken by the City of Austin in collaboration with many members of this community. But I plead with all of you to be more informed and more involved in pushing back against terrorism and hate here at home and in Israel. As we mourn, we must repair the world. Thank you.
Thank you again, Councilmember Alter, for the many ways you continue to support our community and provide leadership, proudly representing us at the city and beyond. We also have the privilege of welcoming Mayor Kirk Watson, who has a multi-decade relationship with our community that actually goes back to the establishment of this very campus. And since Saturday, Mayor Watson has been in constant contact with me to ensure we had exactly what we needed, including security coordination and ensuring that the City of Austin and Travis County stand strong with Israel and our community. In a moment, he is going to welcome all of our elected officials in attendance. Mayor Watson, we welcome you now to introduce our elected officials and share words of support for our community. Thank you again for your leadership.
Everyone here tonight, and I'm also honored to have the opportunity to introduce elected officials that are in the audience to be part of standing with Israel. It is a proud moment, I will say, to have this many elected officials that are a part of this because they believe so much in standing with Israel. I'll start with, as Councilmember Walter has already pointed out, we have with us also Councilmember Ryan Alter, and I believe Councilmember Vanessa Fuentes has joined us. From our Travis County Legislative Delegation, we have Representative Gina Hinojosa, Representative Vicki Goodwin, and Representative Cheryl Cole. You will hear from Congressman Doggett in a moment. I also am aware that Congressman Greg Abbott office is joining us virtually. We have County Judge Andy Brown with us, County Commissioners Bridget Shea and Anna Howard. We have Tax Assessor Collector Bruce Elfont, and we are joined by our Sheriff Sally Hernandez, and from the Pflugerville City Council, Rudy Metayer. I want to say just a few words and share a few thoughts about our wonderful community. We gather here at a profound moment in each of our lives and in the life of humanity. Unfortunately, we live in a moment of fear, anxiety, vulnerability, and deep sadness. We live with difficulty comprehending, wrapping our minds around the hate, an evil so strong that it results in mortal actions and more. We're angry. We're angry because of those acts, that hate, fear, anxiety, vulnerability, and yes, the lack of understanding by some, by way too many, as to why that hate causes these emotions and such grief. We feel like there's an absence of control in our lives. But let us, as the Austin community, do what we do so well and we are doing now. And let us control the things we can and work to live in a moment of love as well. Love of our community. The warmth of souls connecting with each other to lift each other, to embrace each other, to support and protect each other. Isaiah 41:10 guides us and consoles us. I feel better when I see the rabbis nod. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Let us, in this time of grieving, of sadness, of vulnerability, of anxiety, let us bring light to our community. Let us reinforce our humanity. Let us love each other. God bless you. God bless us all. Let there be peace. We stand with Israel.
Guess we have a third rabbi up here. Mayor Watson, thank you again for everything you did to put this event together with us, and you are doing to support our community during this challenging time, and the ways you're coordinating support with law enforcement and supporting the Israeli people. We now welcome Congressman Doggett, our representative here in the Austin area. Congressman Doggett, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join our community during this extremely challenging time. Congressman Doggett.
A few years after Nikki and I had made our first visit to Jerusalem with the American Jewish Congress, we came to this sacred place for its opening and dedication. It was a wonderful evening. We were moved by this feeling coming into the building of the feeling of Jerusalem limestone and the joyful spirit of everyone who gathered that evening. Tonight, in this same place, where so many are deeply in love with Israel, I join you in feeling the deep pain and the sadness that we feel as families were ripped apart, as your son said, murdered in cold blood, and kidnappings. In Israel, politics and the many protests that have happened this year have been put aside in favor of a united response to this wanton violence. And in America, we need to do the same. Israel has always been the strongest in its support here in America when we have the kind of bipartisan support on display here tonight. In that regard, I salute Congressman McCall, who has joined with his ranking member from New York, Greg Meeks, in preparing a resolution that I joined yesterday that followed a very informative briefing about the situation in Israel. After recounting the war crimes that happened this weekend, and reaffirming our commitment to Israeli security, condemning Hamas, calling on other countries to do the same, and urging the full enforcement of all U.S. sanctions against Iran and Iran's funding of terrorist groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad. We indicate our readiness to respond promptly to the administration request for emergency resupply and other security, diplomatic, and intelligence support. This afternoon, shortly before coming here together with other colleagues, we have also forwarded to the administration a formal bipartisan request for issuance of a non-combatant evacuation operation executive order that will enable the Department of Defense to help evacuate those U.S. citizens who wish to depart, at least temporarily, from Israel. Of course, most of those who are in Israel will remain in harm's way. Rabbi Blumoff has referred to his quick round trip for a day from Alaska to Washington, D.C. and back to hear the words of Israeli President Herzog in July. I think of the President's words that day that are appropriate now. One cannot talk about peace while condoning or legitimizing terror, implicitly or explicitly. True peace cannot be anchored in violence. While it's important to hear all of the voices concerning the many troubling events in the Middle East, when the subject is Hamas and its terrorism, it is like the Holocaust. There is no other side. There are no alternative facts. It must be eradicated. The wrongful taking of innocent lives, no matter where that occurs, the only question going forward is how to preserve the lives of hostages and innocent civilians throughout the region. You know, following a series of disgusting anti-Semitic events here in Austin, to which the council member referred, there was a happy event. A group of women from this congregation and many others, probably many of you and others, organized a rally for kindness at the state capitol. And the moment that I will always remember from that event was when a rabbi came forward and was presented a check, a contribution for damage repair from the imam. While so difficult now with our pain to contemplate such a moment elsewhere on a larger scale, let's pray and work toward that. We dedicated this beautiful sanctuary in the year 2001, the time of another great tragedy. After that, some very good decisions were made by our leaders, and later, months later, disastrous decisions were made that cost thousands of unnecessary lives. As we pray for those that we mourn tonight, let's also pray for the leaders who are now responding, that they may find the wisdom to take action, which is forceful, which is responsible, but which rejects the methods of our enemies and remains mindful of the need one day to seek lasting peace. Thank you.
Thank you again, Congressman Doggett.